Hello dear learners. Today we are going to talk about how one should write a paragraph. Today we are going to talk about how to write a paragraph in English language. So let's talk about what exactly do you understand if I say a paragraph. So we can say that a paragraph is a short part of a text consisting of at least one sentence and beginning on a new line. So it usually deals with a single event, description, idea, as we are referring Cambridge Dictionary at this point. So the main elements, the main parts of paragraph can be understood as the main idea or a topic sentence, the supporting details, and the concluding remark and or a transitional sentence. So here you can see that we are using two ideas in one point. So when we talk about topic sentence and main idea, these are connected terms. So if we say that a topic sentence is that sentence through which you can understand, you can get the main idea of a paragraph, that will be absolutely correct. Similarly, when we talk about concluding remark of a paragraph, so as you all know that conclusion talks about the final sentence where we sum up the entire idea. This transitional sentence has a connection with the concluding remark where we show the transition from the conclusion, or if we are adding one more paragraph. So since we have discussed, we have said that a paragraph is one idea, one central idea which we discuss in a paragraph. So suppose if we have 2 or 3 paragraphs or more than that, there has to be a transitional sentence which will add the earlier paragraph with the new paragraph, right? So this transitional sentence has a connection with the concluding remark. So there has to be a transition which shows that one idea is connected to the other. Now, the first thing and the most important thing to understand in a paragraph is unity. That's the basic rule. So when we say that one paragraph is one central idea, that is absolutely correct, right? So if we have two central ideas, it is very important that we should have two paragraphs. So one idea and several bits of supporting evidences within a single paragraph is understood when we talk about one individual paragraph. Several points are possible in a paragraph as long as they relate to the overall topic of the paragraph. So since I said that one central idea, one paragraph, so there can be several points which relate to the overall topic of the paragraph, but the central idea has to be one. So we have a paragraph over here, for example. So the question which is important to understand is that do all the sentences talk about one main idea? Let's read the paragraph in that case. So if I say that I live in a flat with my family, period, we have 2 bedrooms and a living room, we have a garden and we have some flowers there. In weekdays, I arrive home at 5 o'clock and I have lunch. Then I do my homework and go to bed. I had a computer, but now it doesn't work. I have a brother and a sister, and I think I'm very lucky to live with them. Sometimes our relatives visit us. Our flat becomes very crowded sometimes, but I like it. So here, let's try to understand if the ideas are individual, if we have one main idea or we have a number of main ideas or we have some related ideas as well. So as you can see over here, the first line which ends till room, and then we have an addition to that, we says, I live in a flat with my family. We have 2 bedrooms and a living room. We have a garden and we have some flowers there. So that talks about one idea where you talk about a description of your flat and your family members. And the description of flat talks about the bedrooms and the living room and the garden and some flowers which are there. Now there is a shift to the another idea where you say, when you talk about your mundane, you say that in weekdays arrive home at 5 o'clock and I have lunch and then I do my homework and go to bed. So it's a kind of mundane, the daily work which you are trying to talk about. The weekdays, what you do in your weekdays. It's a routine basically. So there is a difference. There is a shift from the first idea to the second idea, and then you have the third idea where you talk about, where you give the description of your family, where you say that I have a brother and a sister, and I think I'm really lucky to live with them. So we can see that there is a shift in ideas. Within a paragraph, central ideas are changing. So this has to be understood when we are talking about a paragraph. So the main idea is basically the flat, where you can see that the last line, which straight away takes you to the central idea of the paragraph, which says that our flat becomes very crowded sometimes, but I like it. So overall, the idea is about the flat, but we are having a shift in that idea where we are inserting two different things. First, the mundane, and the description of your family. So this is what we need to understand when we write a paragraph. Then the next important thing when we talk about writing a paragraph is the logical bridges and the verbal bridges. As you, if you can understand, I mean, logical is something which is related to perception, cognition, which is there in your mind, okay? And verbal bridges are connected with words, sentences, which are required in giving your, explaining your ideas. So that is what we talk about, verbal bridges. So we have a name to that, and we say logical bridges as coherence and verbal bridges as cohesion. So logical bridges can be understood when we say that whatever idea which we write in a paragraph relates to the central idea. So that is what it is written over here. If I say that the same idea of a topic is carried over from sentence to sentence. So whatever you're writing in a paragraph should relate to the central idea, which has to be same. And then the successive sentence can be constructed in a parallel form. So parallel form, it means that the grammatical, the structure which we are using in a sentence, in a paragraph, has to be similar. Now, when we talk about cohesion, that talks about the transition, or how we join words basically. So how we join the ideas through these 4 bullet blue points which are mentioned over the right column. So we use keywords, So we use keywords, we repeat keywords in order to, have a connection in the paragraph. So suppose the paragraph is about cricket, the game of cricket. So this keyword cricket, will be appearing in the paragraph. So we are using the same keyword again and again to form a bridge, to form a connection, joining in the paragraph. We use synonyms. Similarly, we use synonyms. Same words with, the words with same meaning, that is synonyms. We use pronouns to refer to the subject. If we refer that Sachin plays cricket, and we talk about Sachin playing cricket, the game of cricket, then we are using he to refer Sachin in every possible sentence when we are referring to him. And then we have transition words to link ideas from different sentences. So suppose we have written a paragraph and we are heading towards the conclusion. So therefore, hence can be the possible word which will link, which will, relate us with the main idea, and we conclude in the final sentence. So that is how we use transition words. So that is how we understand cohesion and coherence when we talk about a paragraph. So we can say that coherence and cohesion are traits which make a paragraph easily comprehensible. So once you understand the logic of coherence and cohesion in a paragraph, it becomes very easy to draft a paragraph. So if you're writing a paragraph, if you're following coherence and cohesion, that enables the readers to understand the concept of paragraph. And if you're reading a paragraph, if the paragraph follows these two methods, these two devices, then it becomes very easy, then it becomes easily comprehensible to understand the logic, the central idea, and the flow of the paragraph. So we have discussed two important points where we talk about the logical bridges and the verbal bridges, which is coherence and cohesion. And we saw a sentence where we understood that how we can find the main ideas in a sentence through this paragraph. We have understood the unity, the basic rule of unity, which talks about one central idea versus one paragraph. So understanding these important points and the parts of paragraph where we discussed about the three important points, it becomes very important and becomes very easy to identify the important elements of a paragraph while framing it if we have a particular idea to discuss. So I hope the points were clear to understand and it was easily comprehensible what we have discussed in this presentation. Thank you for listening to me.